All right, good evening, everyone. I'm Gina Swanson. Welcome to a special presentation, Money Matters Stimulus Round 3. In the next half hour, we want to answer your questions because we know many of you are relying on this money to pay your mortgage or outstanding bills or just to keep your family afloat. Well, let's begin with the basics. President Joe Biden recently signed a $1.9 trillion COVID-19 relief package, and with that comes relief for individuals, families, businesses, and state agencies. More importantly, the bill provides one of the biggest stimulus payments to date. Individuals who qualify can receive direct payments of $1,400 per person and an additional $1,400 for each child. Tonight, we'll go more in depth when it comes to those stimulus payments, including who qualifies and what to do if you haven't gotten yours just yet. Also, unemployment benefits. This recent bill extended those benefits while also including a tax break. Then there's the expected monthly payments for the new child tax credit, as well as relief for small business owners and those who are self-employed. All right, so much to talk about. We asked financial expert Kimberly Washington to join us tonight to help walk us through this much needed relief. Kimberly, the fact of the matter is some people have already gotten their stimulus checks, probably already come and gone, but we want to break down all this information on stimulus payments. First, just a basic question: who qualifies and how much can individuals expect to receive?
Right, so individuals can expect to see $1,400. It really does depend on your income levels. If you are a single individual, it will be $75,000 that you have to earn less than. If you're married, it's $150,000. If you're head of household, it's actually $112,500. So if you qualify, your income has to be less than that level, and then you would qualify for your stimulus payments.
Okay, but what about if you have dependents? And even the rules for dependents have expanded, if you will.
Right, this round is a lot different from your first and second round. So if you have children over the age of 17, this time each child would qualify. Even if you have college students or elderly parents, those people also will qualify. Any dependent that you have on your tax return will qualify for the $1,400.
All right, so Kimberly, we actually got some questions for you submitted by viewers. This one is about college students. Let's listen in, and then we want you to weigh in after that.
Hi, I'm Liz. My son did not file his taxes independently until this year, and so last year he did not qualify for the stimulus checks. This year he did file for 2020 as independent. So would he qualify for this next round of stimulus check?
That is a good question. A lot of people don't realize that even if you did not receive your stimulus payments last year, you still can qualify when you file your 2020 tax return. So in this instance where you have a college student who was previously claimed by a parent where they did not receive the stimulus payment, this time when they file, they're actually eligible for two payments, the $1,200 and also the additional $600, so $1,800. Plus, when they file independently, an additional $1,400. So that's a big deal, and a lot of people don't realize that, but it's called a recovery rebate credit.
Wow, that definitely some good information. Now, last year, some people were not required to file a tax return. What do those folks actually need to know this time around, and which tax years are being used?
Right, that's another good question because I'm getting a lot of questions about that. So if you're someone who has received Social Security benefits, VA benefits, railroad benefits too as well, of course, maybe you don't have to file a tax return, but in those instances, the IRS is going to use your information. They're going to automatically send these payments out to you. Also, if you're someone who already used what's called the non-follow to with the IRS, you don't have to do anything. The IRS, again, they're going to automatically send you those payments. You really have to be patient because they're just getting into this batch, this new round of payments now. So just wait at this time. Now, if you don't fall into those categories and you're someone who's never required to file a tax return, just file a tax return so it can speed up the process of your payment.
I know you're saying be patient, but Kim, a lot of people are in dire need for these funds, and people are, posting on social media, emailing, my STEMI hadn't hit my account yet. So this is a question that we get from a lot of concerned viewers. What steps should they take if they have not received their payment?
So the first thing, of course, you want to do is go to irs.gov. You can go to irs.gov. You're going to click on Get My Payment. Once you click on that, it's going to let you know the status of your payment. It's going to let you know whether it's been processed or if they need additional information. But you do want to start there. And then another thing you may want to consider, too, there's a telephone number that you might want to consider, and you want to call the IRS. That number is 1-800 1-800-919-9835. And again, that number is 1-800-919-9835. You can actually call the IRS and get a status of your stimulus payment if you have yet to receive it.
Good information. You know, other people have concerns that their bank account information may not even be correct or up to date. That might be why they're not getting their check or they haven't got one yet. How can a person update their bank account information on the IRS if they changed their account or closed it altogether?
It's going to depend on the status of the payment. So let me give you an example. If it's in the process of already being paid, you will not be able to do anything, unfortunately. What's going to happen, the IRS is going to send a payment to that bank account, and then it's going to be rejected. And then that payment is actually going to be sent back to the IRS, and then you're going to get a paper check. So you just have to be, again, patient. I know it's kind of hard to say, but you really have to be patient. You definitely want to go to irs.gov. And if they're still in the process, you can't update your bank information at that time.
You said some people may receive a paper check. What about those people who are waiting on a paper check or even a debit card? When should those start arriving in mailboxes, and what do they even look like? Some people say they threw them away.
Yes. That's a big thing because last year a lot of people actually threw those different envelopes away, but it's going to come in an unmarked, most time, a white envelope. And so just keep your eye out for it. If you have yet to receive your payment by direct deposit or the IRS does not have your bank information, it's going to come in the next few weeks and you'll get a white envelope and it may have a debit card or a check in that envelope. Do not throw that envelope away.
Good information. All right, so here's another question. We've had viewers call and email about us. I mean, and this may have them waiting as well. If a person owes back taxes or child support or any other federal government debts, will the IRS garnish the stimulus payment?
So not this time around. So we know that the first round there was some issues, but this time it's a little bit different. So if you owe child support, if you owe back taxes, if you owe student loans, you still qualify for the $1,400. So if you fall in that category, you do not have to worry this time because you'll still receive your stimulus payment.
All right, good information. Like we said at the top of the show, this third round of checks is already going out. But Kimberly, we got this great question from a viewer who is still waiting on a prior payment.
My question is, I received my first stimulus, I received the third stimulus, but I didn't receive the second stimulus. What steps do I need to take to see about receiving that?
So again, another good question. So remember, you need to file your 2020 tax return, and you're going to claim what's called a recovery rebate credit. And this is a big deal. It's really a big deal because not only for missing payments, but also for partial payments. If you received less than the full amount last year, this year when you file your tax return, you may qualify for more stimulus money. Also, if you are someone who was claimed as a dependent before and you're no longer a dependent, you may qualify again for those additional payments too as well. If you're someone whose income has declined from 2019 to 2020, you may now qualify for these stimulus payments. So file your 2020 tax return and make sure that you claim what's called a recovery rebate credit. Again, that credit's up to $1,800. That can help out so much.
Okay, and you said you could receive the credit, and so that's for people who may have missed a stimulus payment. And how exactly does it work? Walk us through that step one more time.
So what you would do, again, you're going to file your 2020 tax return, and it's a credit that you claim on a tax return. The IRS is going to ask, did you receive your first payment or your second payment? And you'll enter your information to whatever tax software you're using, talk to a tax professional if someone is doing your tax return, and just let them know, hey, I didn't receive these payments. What do I need to do? But you are eligible. And I'll give you an example. I had a younger person that did not receive the stimulus payment recently because her parents claimed in the year before. But when she filed her tax return as an independent taxpayer, she did qualify for the $1,800. So you want to make sure you take advantage of the recovery rebate credit.
Y'all heard that? Recovery
Yes.
rebate credit. Kim, thank you so much. Now listen, we know so many of you have so many more questions, including unemployment benefits. That's another major part of this COVID-19 relief package. We'll break down what help is on the way for those of you still out of work due to the pandemic. And parents, we certainly haven't forgotten about you. There are new benefits for you, including a monthly stipend.